Speedcraft Garage.
Welcome back to the channel, my friends. It's going to be another fun day because we're adding more horsepower to the car. It's going to be 36 more horsepower, 60 more torque, all complements of a high pressure fuel pump upgrade from 034 Motorsports. So we'll be installing that, and then as usual, taking the car out on the road for a test drive. We'll do some Dragy videos and some 0 to 60 times and see how much faster we are. Before we jump into this, I just want to mention I've got some new shirts up on the website, speedcraftgarage.com. Go check it out. We got a bunch of different new designs up there. Hopefully you find something you like, and every purchase you make obviously helps support the channel, so I'd really appreciate it if you go check it out. And before we jump in, I also want to mention that I am a 034 Motorsports partner, so shout out to those guys. I appreciate you helping me out. And if you'd like to purchase any of the tools featured in this video today, links will be down in the description below, and I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you purchase any products, that also goes to help support the channel as well. All right, guys, it's time to party. Let's dive into it. Well, here we go, guys, off to the races. I just wanted to mention that this is not a comprehensive installation video. We're going to cover most of the bases, but you can download the full install guide from the 034 Motorsport website. So we'd unhooked the heat jacket from the fuel lines, and now we're removing the clip on the back of the sensor. You want to make sure you push down on that tab to fully remove it from the connector. Then we're jumping in here with our wrenches, and we're going to loosen this up. This is a 21 millimeter and a 17 millimeter wrench. Just crack that loose and make sure you got some rags down so that way you don't spill fuel all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and go in the back. We want to crack that sensor in the rear loose. We're going to use a 27 millimeter wrench for that. That is the pressure sensor fitting. We'll unscrew it and remove it from the back of the housing. Grab our T30 Torx wrench here, and we're going to remove the hardware for the hard line bracket. If you don't do this, it's going to be a real pain in the butt trying to get those hard lines removed. So we'll go ahead and get that taken off from there using a 14 millimeter wrench. And from that, we're going to remove the fuel pump housing. We got a M10 triple square, and we'll remove the 2 screws from that. There's one in the front, and we got one in the back. Just crack it loose. Do a little shimmying to get it out of there. Voila. There it is in all its glory. Now we're going to go ahead and put it in a vise. I do have 2 little soft, they're actually action block clamps just to help prevent marring. And we got our 034 Motorsport fuel pump tool, which you can purchase from their website, which you'll need to help crack the housing loose. I used an impact gun for this because it was much easier than trying to use the torque wrench. Even no matter how hard I pushed down, it kept wanting to slip off. Once we have this in the vise, we're going to go ahead and crank this down until you hear the retainer clip make a loud click, which allows you to take everything apart. So that way you can remove the spring from the top, and then you can pull the piston out of the factory housing. We have a brand new 034 Motorsport high flow fuel pump piston, and we have the cap and the retainers in there. So we're going to go ahead and slide that on in. This part coming up here was pretty tricky, and 034 does call this out. So we're going to use a valve seat tool and a socket, and we're going to place everything in a vise. We're going to use that to compress the spring so that we can install the retainer clips on there. I didn't do a full walkthrough on this one. Not gonna lie, it was a pain in the butt, but just take your time with it, and you gotta hold it with one hand while you tighten down with the other, and eventually you'll get it in. So we're gonna go ahead and use a little bit of our motor oil. We're gonna lube up the O-rings on the piston. Before reassembling, it is recommended by 034 to do that. I'm going to snug it down and then tighten it by hand.
Then we're going to reinstall fuel pump back into the car, and they're going to torque it down to 20 Newton meters, and then basically put everything back together again in reverse order.
All right, guys, that's it. It's all installed. So now we're ready to start the car up, and we'll double and triple check, make sure that nothing is leaking. Take the car around the block 1 or 2 times, pop the hood again, just double check. You always make sure you don't have any leaks after doing any kind of fuel system maintenance. And as long as everything looks good, then we'll flash on that 1 Plus tune, which is going to unlock that extra horsepower and torque that we're going to get from installing that piston. So should be fun. And then we'll hook up the Dragy and do a few pulls and see what kind of performance gains we get. Cruising around normally, and so far the car feels pretty normal compared to what it did just at cruising speeds, and we'll get it up to temperature.
After double checking the fittings one last time, now we're ready to flash over that 1 Plus tune.
Start driving, I can notice a difference. The torque is there down low. You can feel it coming in a lot earlier. Alright, we're decently warmed up, so let's just floor it from the roll and see how it is. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Definitely feels faster. Definitely a difference. I did a couple pulls already, and especially mid and up top, it pulls a lot harder. It's very rapid, especially when it gets, once we get about over 60 miles an hour or so, it starts pulling even harder and harder. Yeah, for the amount of money that you spend on this upgrade, it's definitely worth it. You can feel a lot more power in the car. It's smoother and noticeably faster. Dang, it definitely pulls harder. The launch back there, the car is now struggling to grab traction. Before we did the upgrade, I could do launches in it all day long, and even on the high grip E85 tune, it was just immediately grabbing. Now there's a whole bunch of wheel spin down low, so it's been tough trying to get a good 0 to 60 time, which is, no big deal. I mean, once we take it to the drag strip, we're on a surface that's actually prepped. It should be really good. But yeah, I'm very happy with this upgrade so far. I like it. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Thanks a lot for following along. I appreciate it. As you can see, we made a big difference having that fuel pump piston upgrade in there. So I highly recommend it, especially if you're on E85 or if you're going to go hybrid turbo, you obviously have to do that. So all of you who have an RS5, you may or may not have seen that 034 Motorsport just released their new carbon fiber super duper turbo inlet, which I happen to have on the way. So we're going to be installing that in the next video. So looking forward to that. I know it's going to add a nice little bit more sound and hopefully some more power. And I'm hoping that by the time we're done with all these mods, that the car should be pushing around about 600-ish horsepower. So it's going to be good stuff. So thanks again for following along. Really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and give me a subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, guys. We will see you in the next one.
Speedcraft Garage.